here with Teddy. We're in the kitchen of our little house on top of the very windy hill, and we have a couple more rhymes and a story for you today. But before we begin, we want to say a special hello to Barbie and Debbie, who are watching all the way from just outside Chicago in Illinois. And I think their teddy bears are watching too, and the teddy bears' names are Helen and Karen. So let's give a big wave to Barbie and Debbie. Hello, hi. We're glad that you're enjoying the stories, and it's so exciting that people are watching from all the way across the ocean. And if anybody else is watching, wherever you're watching from, we would love to see a photograph of your teddy bear. So you could put it right in Facebook, right in the comments. Take a picture, send us the photographs, and everybody will be able to see your teddy bear as well. Now, has anybody had a hot cross bun today? Because today is the day for hot cross buns, and we already had ours for breakfast. But Teddy wanted me to tell you the little song that he likes to sing when he has his hot cross buns. You probably know it. It goes like this. Hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. If you have no daughters, give them to your sons. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Shall we try that all together? Have a go. I'll do it nice and slowly. We'll go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. If you have no daughters, give them to your sons. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Well, that made us think about baking. So we did a little baking earlier on. And we have a little rhyme that goes with that too. It's the pat a cake rhyme. Pat a cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Pat it and prick it and mark it with T and put it in the oven for Teddy and me. Well, Teddy, you made a really delicious looking cake, and we'll let everybody see it when it's time for tea at the end. So we're going to have our story, and our story for today is the tale of Tom Kitten. Hold it up nice and close for you to see. And I think I might need my glasses for this one because the words are getting very tiny. So are you ready, Teddy? Ready to listen? Once upon a time, there were 3 little kittens, and their names were Mittens, Tom Kitten, and Moppet. They had dear little fur coats of their own, and they tumbled about the doorstep and played in the dust. But one day, their mother, Mrs. Tabitha Twitchit, expected friends to tea, so she fetched the kittens indoors to wash and dress them before the fine company arrived. First, she scrubbed their faces. Now this one is Moppet. And then she brushed their fur, and this one is Mittens. And then she combed their tails and whiskers, and this is Tom Kitten. Tom was very naughty, and he scratched. Mrs. Tabitha dressed Moppet and Mittens in clean pinafores and tuckers, and then she took all sorts of elegant, uncomfortable clothes out of a chest of drawers in order to dress up her son Tom. Tom Kitten had grown, and several buttons burst off his clothes. His mother sewed them on again. When the 3 kittens were ready, Mrs. Tabitha unwisely turned them out into the garden to be out of the way while she made hot buttered toast. Now keep your clothes clean, children. You must walk on your hind legs, keep away from the dirty ash pit and from Sally Henny Penny and from the pigsty and the puddle ducks. Moppet and Mittens walked down the garden path unsteadily. Presently they trod upon their pinafores and fell on their noses. Oh! When they stood up, there were several green smears. "Let's climb up on the rockery and sit on the garden wall," said Moppet. They turned their pinafores back to front and went up with a skip and a jump. Moppet's white tucker fell behind onto the road. Tom Kitten was quite unable to jump when walking on his hind legs in trousers. He came up the rockery by degrees, breaking the ferns and shedding buttons right and left. He was all in pieces when he reached the top of the wall. Moppet and Mittens tried to pull him together. His hat fell off and the rest of his buttons burst. While they were in difficulties, there was a pit-pat, paddle-pat, and the 3 puddle ducks came along the hard, high road, marching one behind the other. Pit-pat, paddle-pat, pit-pat, waddle-pat. They stopped and stood in a row and stared at the kittens. They had very small eyes and they looked surprised. And then the 2 duck birds, Rebecca and Jemima Puddle Duck, picked up the hat and tucker and put them on. Mittens laughed so much that she fell off the wall. Moppet and Tom descended after her. The pinafores and all the rest of Tom's clothes came off on the way down. "Come, Mr. Drake Puddle Duck," said Moppet. "Come and help us to dress him. Come and help us button up Tom." Mr. Drake Puddle Duck advanced in a slow, sideways manner and picked up the various articles. But he put them on himself. They fitted him even worse than Tom Kitten. "It's a very fine morning," said Mr. Drake Puddle Duck. And he and Jemima and Rebecca Puddle Duck set off up the road, keeping step. Pit-pat, paddle-pat, pit-pat, waddle-pat. And then Tabitha Twitchit came down the garden and found her kittens on the wall with no clothes on. Uh-oh. She pulled them off the wall and took them back to the house. "My friends will arrive in a minute, and you are not fit to be seen. I am affronted," said Mrs. Tabitha Twitchit. She sent them upstairs, and I'm sorry to say, Teddy, that she told her friends that they were in bed with the measles, which was not true. Quite the contrary. They were not in bed, not in the least. Somehow there were very extraordinary noises overhead which disturbed the dignity and repose of the tea party. And I think that someday I'll have to make another larger book to tell you more about Tom Kitten. As for the puddle ducks, they went into a pond and the clothes all came off because there were no buttons. And Mr. Drake Puddle Duck and Jemima and Rebecca have been looking for them ever since. And that's the end. So that was kind of a short story, wasn't it, Teddy? But you know what? That means we can have our tea sooner. So here's the pot. Cup of tea. Let's see, we'll hold it up so you can see it. And here's cup for Teddy. And cup for me. I'll put these down. And I want to show you, don't go away yet. I want to show you the cake that Teddy made. This is a special cake for Easter. He even put little eggs, little tiny Easter eggs on the front. So, shall we have it now, Teddy? Let's cut it up. We'll say goodbye to everybody. And thank you for watching. This has been our first week of Stories with Teddy. And we'll be back again next week. We'll be back right after Easter time. And maybe we'll have an Easter egg to share with you. So, bye-bye, everybody.